We're going to talk right now about prepositional phrases. These are one of my favorite things because they make your writing more interesting, more colorful, more detailed. It takes a simple sentence and it makes it fuller. So let me just write this down. A prepositional phrase it begins with a preposition and it ends with a noun. So I'll write that down. Begins with a preposition and it ends with a noun. Always, it has to begin with a preposition and end with a noun. That's it. So I'm going to start with a really basic sentence. She called him. Okay, nice basic simple sentence, no prepositions in it. We learned that prepositions show direction or location. So let's think about this sentence and add some prepositional phrases that can give more detail. She called him on the phone. Now if you look here, on is a preposition and phone is a noun. So on the phone is a nice prepositional phrase. It adds more detail. She called him on the phone over the weekend. Again, we start with a preposition and we end with a noun. Over the weekend. She called him on the phone over the weekend. Again, good sentence. If we want to, we can add more details here. She called him on the phone over the weekend before the party. Before the party, right there. Before the party. Starts with a preposition, ends with a noun. She called him on the phone over the weekend before the party. Now that's a great sentence. It's excellent. However, when you're writing, if all your sentences start the same, subject, verb, and then whatever, sometimes we want to flip that. And we can take a prepositional phrase and move it to the beginning of the sentence. As long as you keep the entire phrase together, they are flexible and can be moved to different parts of a sentence. So let me just rethink how we have this written. I'm going to start with this one, before the party. Let's see, let's do this. She called him on the phone over the weekend. Notice my prepositional phrases stay the same. Before the party, on the phone, over the weekend. And my subject, she, and my verb, called, and even my object, him, it does not change. Subject, verb, object. It still stays the same, and they stay together within the sentence. Something to learn that anytime you have a phrase before the subject, you need to put a comma. Anytime you have a phrase before the subject, you want to add a comma there. It separates it and says, this is actually the subject of the sentence. So here's our new sentence. Before the party, she called him on the phone over the weekend. Same meaning as this one. She called him on the phone over the weekend before the party. Same meaning, but we just changed the order to make it a little bit more interesting. Prepositional phrases make your writing more fun, more interesting, more detailed, and they're a valuable part to learn in grammar. Thank you.